bad. It's knowing how to communicate with
in the
people.
context, yes, people have tendencies, because if you look at it at a broad spectrum, say like a person's full lifetime, then there's no singular diagnosis as Keys ways to the fucking multiple diagnostic theory, and it's just a thing, a tool. But
Well, through the whole life, it would show that I'm literally nothing fucking wrong with me.
Most of your life had to have probably reflected sociopathic upbringing. Because, I mean, you didn't really rely on anybody else, did you? But
I mean, I
you
basically relied on myself
you
as
kinda-
a child, basically. I mean, I didn't rely on myself. You know what I'm saying? I cooked, I cleaned, whatever. You know what I mean?
cook, clean.
There was no dad. My mom was working a lot and stuff. But I, would lock the door and shit, all that good shit. I can't remember much of that young, but that was all the way up in New Hampshire. And I don't really remember a lot of the shit now because it's so fucking long ago, man. I remember certain shit, like snow and shit and whatever. I remember a lot of it, but it's like childhood I don't remember. I just remember the places that it was.
Yeah,
But South Carolina, I've been here since I was fucking 8, I think. Yeah, no, 9. So that's why. You know what I'm saying? I can't. But no, dude, I didn't have my sociopathic shit, probably. Who cares? I don't know if that. Everybody's a fucking sociopath, right?
No. Would be based off of how, if you wanted a crude definition of sociopath and you followed that crude definition, then you'd be looking for the people whose survival is in mainstays of the opinion of others and being not really nurtured by it, but they but survive off of it.
A long time ago, I thought I
emotional
decided
sense.
I was a psychopath when I was 13 and all this negative shit, but I ain't even like. That's whenever closer to whenever I met y'all originally, but like we were all younger and shit, and then fucking I was like a hateful bastard back then. Like I had evil thoughts of killing and all that shit. I don't have them thoughts, man.
Were
I
they?
haven't had them since.
They were hateful.
Yeah, it was like hateful. I would write like hateful, fucking weird shit and story. Like the stories were funny, but they weren't hateful. But it would just say weird, stupid shit.
Cat or dog?
Cat or dog? What?
What would you prefer, cat or dog?
As a pet?
Yeah.
Like if I had my own place and everything.
As a kid.
As a kid, well, there was mostly dogs.
Okay. Now, would you prefer that companion over a human?
What do you mean? In what way?
Would you prefer the company of said pet, maybe more than 45%
I prefer cats to dogs, but I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Dogs are cool. I like dogs, man. I like cats and dogs, but I prefer cats. So I mean, it would be entertaining to me to have, because the cats you can play with and they do funny shit. As far as a dog, you can play with them and everything, and they're gonna bark when someone comes in, and that's good too. But you gotta fucking feed the dog a whole lot more and shit, and you gotta do a whole lot more care for the dog and shit. Cats are kind of, you can get to the. You got the fucking, this is the litter box and shit, and they don't eat as much because they're not as big as a fucking dog and shit. So you gotta worry about feeding a fucking animal before you worry about an animal being a fucking companion, and whether or not you prefer it to a human. A human will go out there and fucking feed themselves if they need to. You know what I mean? Like.
Now, would you feed yourself or the animal first?
Unless it's a child, which you have to do. Would I feed myself? Oh, you're trying to test. I don't know. That's weird. Is the animal dying or am I dying?
Neither of you are dying, but would you rather feed the dog first or yourself?
Well, the dog can eat anything a human can eat generally. So
yeah,
cat, you'd have to buy that special shit unless you got fish, and that's a thing when a dog will eat anything if it's starving. But how do you know if the dog's starving?
Now, what if you got offered to share the plate with the dog?
Yeah, sure. Are we both dying?
No, just hungry.
I can't say every single time, but I'm gonna make sure the dog gets fed probably. But unless I'm like starving, I don't know. It's a dog, man. They're gonna eat it anyway if you have it. You know what I'm saying? You can tell if they're hungry when they snack.
Yeah. A dog would probably go after you before.
And when you sit down, if they're like almost biting your hand, then they're hungry.
Yeah, they would pounce on you for food before they let themselves
Because they can't go in the store and grab a thing of whatever peanuts, whatever the fuck it is in there that they to eat if they had to, because they got 4 legs. They don't have thoughts like that.
Now, would you say that they would be socially manipulating, or would you say
Dogs
that
and
they
cats.
would be companions?
They'd be companions, but like you can't socially manipulate a dog.
Not necessarily, because they're not social creatures, or socially developed creatures, might I say.
It ain't like it's a whole different.
Cats are the social creatures. So now,
Cats, you can't
would you
manipulate at all. They have. I don't think they have thoughts, but you can't without physical. You can't like convince or train a cat necessarily. Socially manipulate a cat to obey commands like a dog.
in a way, but you have to gain their likedness
I don't
first.
think they do it every time.
It depends on their epigenetic culture.
Because cats are more like narcissists. They do what they want.
But not all of them are narcissists. But now, would you think that
Dogs are more like the ones that needs, like almost like that craves love and affection and stuff, which is there's some human shit to that.
they're primal creatures? Right?
They're loyal. They're more about love.
Yeah.
If a dog hates you, if a dog doesn't like you when you first meet it, and that's how you know. That's how you know if a person is fucking evil or something, or if they're bad. If they're a dog that is good dog, loyal and everything, smart, and it growls at a fucking person, man. Like it snarls. Like you can tell if a dog dislikes a person or they attack them for no reason. They smell something. They smell something on the person. That hormones.
What about? Would you say that they have memory?
Yes, I don't know for a fact, but I think that maybe. Yes, they have memory because they can remember being abused and stuff and other.
Because your
to know
muscles,
what to dislike.
your muscles have a response too.
Like some dogs are racist because they were abused by a certain race of people, and then some of them start hating everybody. So cats, anyhow. Dude, I watched it euthanize some of the dogs and cats as a fucking animal should.
Dogs,
And then I dumped them in the thing.
since
I watched a kitten get his head cut off one time, man. It was freaky as fuck, man.
how did he get his head cut off?
Oh my god, I told you this before, it's just it involves other people and shit, and I was like, really fucking depressed and like, oh my god. And it was like we were trying to prove if God was real or some shit. And I didn't do it, but I fucking witnessed that shit and I was so fucked up I didn't know what to do. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack because it doesn't bleed, man. It's not like the movies. When decapitation, if done swiftly, like bleed. But the fucked up part is it's like blah blah blah. God, if you're real, the cat won't die.
No,
First time the cat didn't die, then it goes the second time. That's kind of fucked up, man. That's bullshit there. But I had to dispose of the shit, and I was fucked up on. And there was helicopters when I went back to my mom's in the sky, and I was like, fuck, they seen me involved with cat killing shit. And I was like freaking out, but it's like, I really don't think that they could, because a lot of people goes out and kills cats out in the country, and it's kind of fucked up, and they shoot them and shit. I don't like it. I found out a lot of people do this, and I don't like it. And I've seen people be abusive to cats, and it pisses me off, but if it's there, like, being like, but not killing them, not doing shit that's gonna hurt them, but just like being kind of mean to them for no reason. And as cats, you know, if it's not mean to you, don't do that. Dog either, the same difference. Like it kind of pisses me off, but if it's there, you know what I'm saying. unless they go, I ain't gonna be complicit in that. That shit's kind of traumatizing, man. Because I wouldn't let someone else while I was sane, whatever you call it, whether I was intoxicated, what, try to kill a fucking innocent animal like a cat or dog in front of me. At these days, I would try to do something, but I would probably do something about it. I don't know. I would try. If they're trying to kill it, and it's just them, I would fucking stop them. You know what I'm saying? But if it's 3 or 4 motherfuckers, goddamn. Because my life's worth. You gotta think. Maybe when I get to the level where I know I could whip all their asses and kill them, then I'd say the animal. But then, depending on the animal, might fight for itself too.
So with this instance of survival,
it's like a child. It's the same thing, but child, it would be stronger.
Now that reaction come from the experience of what happened with the cat?
I don't know. I loved cats before that. It kind of freaked me out. But I killed a possum, man, while I was playing dead. And I had a fucking big old log. I thought it was dead because there were berries smushed around.
It was playing dead, and you made it dead.
I didn't know he was literally. I thought he was literally dead and suffering because there was blood.
Mm.
There was berries or some shit mushed on thing. I don't know. Like I said, I was fucking sure. So I was like, and I was like, no, he's getting up and moving. Fuck. You know, I'm sitting there crying, and same character from other sitting there laughing. I'm like, why are you fucking laughing? That's not. You thought it was yeah, it's fucking hilarious if I could disconnect from the situation. It's killing something that didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But I thought I was doing a fucking good thing. But then later it's like, I got the bigger kill. You killed some fucking shit that people run over in their car. Possum and fucking filthy him. Nobody likes it. I got the better kill because it's an innocent kid. Fuck.
How would you feel if I told you that possums are the only ones that, or marsupials, but possums don't get
I don't even like
rabies?
going hunting, dude. Maybe squirrel hunting. I shot a squirrel once. That's the only time I've ever had anything involving.
Okay, if a raccoon had rabies and then there's a possum next to it, would you shoot the raccoon first or would you shoot the possum?
Goddamn, if I'm far enough away from them, I'm probably going to leave unless they're trying to come toward civilization and I'm the one with the gun that has to shoot them. I try to fucking kill them. I'm not.
Now, would you, if you're on, if say a mock-up scenario
the possum's
happened,
a bigger target, so I guess you could get it first. And it's like, dude, I've seen people raise possum, fatten them up, and cook them, and eat them. And I've eaten these. I don't like it. It's shit. But possums are like, they're nice if they're not fucking.
So
they're scary looking.
Now you have no more bullets. What about the raccoon with the rabies?
You said raccoon? I thought you said squirrel.
Yeah. Well, either animal with rabies.
I was gonna say squirrel would be hard to do if you can't shoot.
What?
A raccoon?
Yeah.
I'd try to get the raccoon first, actually, because they're going to be moving more fast, and they got claws. I thought you said squirrel.
So, and
kill the raccoon first.
Interesting thing.
He's fast.
Is the possum bigger than the raccoon?
Could be, could not be, but I think the possum might be slower. But if they're rabid, sometimes they sit still.
Mm-hmm.
They don't always attack unless they're having one of those. Kind of like they're fucking dying because there's a virus took over their mind and they can't sleep, eat, look at sunlight, everything that normally, the way their mind works, everything that normally is a good response and they want to fucking kill, but they don't have a response. That's rabies, man. But they don't even, it's not like...
Rabies is aquaphobia.
Smell, they lose their sense of smell, dogs do. They can't rely on it because it's everything that, their sense of smell is way better than ours. Mm-hmm. Everything is just death, attack, evil, I'm dying. That's how they would feel with rabies. Their sense of smell.
Now take a breath because I think your body was trying to tell you that you're dying because you're not breathing.
There's no such thing as a person who has
rabies. It was a joke, by the way. Actually, it's aquaphobia. You know,
hydrophobia. Yeah, they can't even drink water because their body fucking drinks as bad. They're not really. It's not anything to do with fear. It's like it's like some fucking disease from evil animal.
Maybe
like,
the virus is prone to being in dismay if it was in a low pH environment. So maybe it dies in acidic environments, so it manipulates the body not to overhydrate or to hydrate in general.
Yeah, and basically it's playing Mad Dog. It's like,
I'm not sure if that's
with
how
animals,
it works, but
they go crazy.
that's my guess for it.
With human rabies, what do they do? Do they speak?
Yeah, they can speak. It's until they start cramping, maybe.
They don't foam at the mouth.
The foaming at the mouth is edema because of only getting water while breathing could be a little bit difficult for the body, and it could start to pull gases, and you get bubbles.
So
it's rabies on animals can look like that, like dogs, but humans, no, not really. They start to die of cramping before anything like that happens.
But they'd have to have the first cramp that they actually feel a cramp before they know. A person doesn't feel any kind of cramp.
Rabies starts to make the person angry too, because lack of water actually is a very, very, very dangerous thing, and it does start to affect in benign ways because you won't really notice them at first.
Rabies are potentially human beings are animals.
Well, you're gonna know if you get rabies because your body is probably gonna associate to being bit by a raccoon like probably a week earlier, right?
I've not been bitten by a raccoon.
I know. I was using that as a reference.
I'm trying to think how I would have got rabies. I don't think I have rabies. I mean,
you don't have rabies.
The person would know, or I don't know. You'd know if the person had rabies.
I mean, do you think you have rabies?
No, I mean, I would know if someone had rabies that I've seen. It would be obvious, or would it be like, can they pretend that they don't?
I think there would be an agony.
Okay, so yeah, they'd be in pain. So
they won't really notice
we
pain
would
at
know if
first,
somebody had rabies,
and it presents itself as like anger, but it's actual discomfort. It's kind of like loss of oxygen. It starts to fuck with you in weird ways first before the physical ways.
Rabies wouldn't be the case in this situation, because it's like, I would know if I had rabies.
Well, I don't think you have rabies, but so with that raccoon, do you feel a little bit like you should have shot the raccoon first?
I have no idea, man. I've never killed a raccoon, man.
I know. I'm saying in our imaginary scenario,
he would be the more menacing target because he has claws, and I feel like he eats trash and stuff. A possum's more likely to hide and go to the dark. A raccoon is kind of more brave. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you get close to them when they're in the trash can type shit, they'll hiss at you, bite you, scratch you, whatever before they run. You know what I mean? Naturally, like how there would be a possum, it might try to bite. They generally don't fuck when you do. They generally run, and they're kind of slow. So, but they can be fast. A raccoon's the one that's the threat. Okay,
so
that's why you shoot it first if you can.
Why did
if the possum's still there, you can smash it. Is it a rifle? You can.
I mean, then why did you shoot the possum first?
I didn't shoot the possum, dude. I picked up a big ass log.
I know, and I'm talking about it in our imaginary scenario about who you had to shoot first, the raccoon or the possum.
Well, you don't necessarily have to shoot the possum. I was kind of traumatized by that other shit because I felt like, fuck, I just tried to do something right, did something wrong. No, it's just that whatever was back then is fucking weird evil shit in my mind because it was confusion. It was belief in some bullshit.
It's
not true.
You're definitely not a psychopath.
It was like, I almost got to the point where I believed like that somehow or another I could manipulate reality, but I was too oppressed by the alternate dimensional weird shit. So I literally thought that I was like, Antichrist, like Satan with my dad or some shit, and I would get scared and then you'd get fucked up and get like use that as a fucking thing, but I never believed it as far as like the person would know if they were that. I don't know. I would even ask people, does the Antichrist know he's the Antichrist? That was my problem back then. That was a delusion, man.
Why would the Antichrist need to? Okay, well, let's not go into that. That's esoteric.
I didn't really believe it. I believed the idea that it was possible. Right now, I don't necessarily think that that's possible.
That's,
so that's the.
Yeah, that's actually
That
healthy.
was those drugs.
That's healthy. To actually think that. That was a good statement you just made.
Because realistically, once your perception's over when I fucking do anything is possible where your mind would be at if you're on high levels of that and nothing is fucking real or whatever. So it's like I really thought that it was logical to believe that, like there was no. And the fucked up part is like I didn't even think it. That made me go to wherever I want, crying bullshit or wherever, homeless, walking with, didn't care about getting in trouble or getting killed or any of that shit because I was actually friendly with every fucking buddy, but I was in danger zones and kind of danger seeking because that was whatever. I don't want to be in dangerous situations either necessarily because right now.
Now, did you danger seek, as you say, to find adventure or to get attention?
No, not to get attention. It was literally just what was. It's kind of funny because all through the life with the drugs and shit, and most of anything I've ever done was free. It was because people would come up to me and offer or offering whatever, want to be friends. And a lot of the times when I was homeless and shit in different towns and shit, I'd be like, boom, 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 go with him, maybe never see him again, maybe fucking get into crazy shit. Back when I can't remember all the shit from tripping on the DSM, dude. I don't remember hardly all that. It was weird, but that's why you can't do that. I like knowing what reality is to a certain extent. I like knowing what reality is.
Yeah, because it's certain in a way.
Yeah, because with that, it's like, fuck. If that was not real reality, dude, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is.
Maybe dissociation?
Like, you could be sitting here talking to somebody, and everything is a different universe with people that ain't there, or weird shit. And then, and then you don't fucking remember a lot of it sometimes, man. And once you do, it's scary. It's like, fuck. And then sometimes it makes, dude, I literally shit and pissed myself at the same time one time on DXM for like 7 days. And a bunch of guys stood up, and because I don't know what the fuck, my body was fucked, my mind was fucked. I stood up, and it just, everything just automatically came out. I'm like, oh my fucking god. And I stood still, and I told the dude in his room, he knows that I'm like, dude,
so
I literally just shit and pissed.
Don't
let them find out, because they would know it'd be fucked up on the live.
With that being said, with all that,
that was the most embarrassing thing. That was like, yep, this thing is a chemical that literally takes over your body.
Now, did the drug cause you to behave in these manners, or did psychosis?
Well, that was that one, literally my body was not doing the correct shit. By that time, dude, it was affecting my body, I think, because my motor functions or whatever. You can't like, I don't know, that was involuntary because I could hardly stand it. Because the robo walk, movement. Sometimes it would do that, sometimes, but I'd have to walk I'd have to concentrate on not being, that's the scariest part, concentrate, because you never want anyone to know that that's what you're doing. People that don't understand that's the worst thing you could probably do, because they don't know what the fuck it is, and that's weird. When you're at that level, it's weird. People don't understand that shit.
When I robo-tripped that day.
If you're on cool people, it controlled my body before. That's why.
Yeah. Now, did it control your body like
it made me shit. And so that's where you don't have to eat, you don't have to sleep, you don't have to do none of that shit. And the last time, the many days that I've stayed at the Death Zone, in a row was 5, and that was used to be the record in my life for the most AWOs. And there was no after effects. I just simply got back to normal, and wasn't like, you know how when normally you would be like having to fucking sleep and eat and fucking die, you know what I mean? Like recover basically, like your body would be fucking. I felt great because it was that shit takes your mind somewhere else where it's so fulfilling, guys, basically. And that's fucking shit if you go too far, because when you get to a level
Now is it that
where you keep doing it and you don't even
now is
feel
it that
nothing.
you use too much, or is it that it
Yeah, I
hits
think
it
if you
hits
use too much too frequently could cause these types of negative effects.
You would probably stoop to say that after a while, then psychosis hits. With experiencing psychosis and the drug at the same time, does the trip change?
The drug causes the psychosis, but the psychosis lasts even during your sober periods.
Yeah.
Then I think that's the problem. But the psychosis is just like seeing shit that ain't there, hearing shit that ain't there, not knowing what reality is, because it is what it's some weird shit. I think it puts your mind somewhere.
Is it not knowing what
Yeah,
reality
psychosis,
is, or is
staying
it
up 7 fucking days in a row?
Yeah, that'll happen.
I didn't want any. It wasn't doing anything. I was hearing flies.
Yeah.
Like they spoke in tongues that I could hear them buzzing. It was the evilest, noisiest, like only thing that I could hear everywhere with it at this point. They're like speaking like some demon language, and I had to fucking leave. And they're just, what? You don't want to? No. I gotta go. I gotta exit out of this situation, because it was all free for that whole 7 days free, wherever everything was like. When I was normal and everything, no one knew. You can't say, oh, I'm hearing voices, because I tried to, through the people and everything. I always try to kind of be the counselor type thing. Is
it still the drug that causes it, or is it your actions that lead up to the psychosis?
Past like 5 or something.
Yeah, staying up past.
Psychosis would be like hallucinating or hearing things that aren't there.
So
and I don't have either of those. I haven't had either of those in a while, because I haven't been fucking binging on shit that will fuck your shit up.
Or is it more or less making you stay up than the psychosis, right?
I think it's it's not even staying. I think it's the drug, and then whatever else is going on around you kind of alters your mind. I think when you do it around people that long, you're absorbing all of their bullshit into your shit.
It's a social
and
drug.
So it's a lot of different psychoses are being slung around, but then you got the mitigators who are the same as people.
Well, like a trip, psychosis is
and
very
so
very
That's
defined.
funny, this guy is a weirdo. But then
very defined.
You start hearing and seeing shit that ain't there. So that's when you say, oh no, I'm just going to not do any until I have this sober shit. And all you can do is exit the situation, leave whatever the shit was stimulating you to make you hear shit, if you can. Sometimes I've listened to music and heard 2 different voices in the song. There was all Jack, it's all the devil, it's all weird. Eminem is everybody is everybody.
Now, would you have
so I go,
solved the situation by falling asleep?
Well, in certain situations you can't fall asleep where that is, because that is say there are people that would do something to you if you fell asleep, and that's just the type of people they are. Like, no matter what, like,
and you wouldn't just
steal from you, and
you wouldn't just, feel comfortable to either go home or something.
Well, this was all homelessness.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's what I did. But there was a lot of homeless around at that time. During this.
Is it that you really didn't feel comfortable in a place where you do drugs
because it's
with
all free
people who commit illegal acts to either procure or to...
It's for my own sanity. I didn't think that they might have been involved in any of them negative acts back then. I was just like,
I'm saying, so why wouldn't you have felt comfortable to fall asleep?
Oh no, yeah. To me, because they would have probably done them shit. Everybody was, you know what I'm saying? You never know at that point. They're going to feel comfortable because I was hallucinating in the house that it was. It was an abandoned house. The flies were following me. I thought people would kill me, so I left. I was homeless. Dude did to me. I would leave and just go out into public and be normal, like sit there, use Wi-Fi, fucking, whatever. But that's actually after that 7 days was where I was at Walmart looking up cool shit, like all kind of PDFs of like languages and ancient esoteric shit. And then that's when I met Mary actually, and then went to Anderson. Didn't know she was married at the time. But you think that all of that psychosis attracts other psychosis, and all whatever it is, whatever virus it is of the mind, kind of draws that other attention to it, and because sometimes others exchange with each other these virus memes, but they're not always real.
One would say that psychosis is very primal, so it is only going to affect the person in very defined ways, and you're going to feel sort of like everybody else does when you're in psychosis.
Psychosis would be acting out physically and violently or fright.
No, it's more or less an experience that you go through, and anybody can
hearing
experience
and seeing shit, right? That ain't there, right?
That's not necessarily what psychosis only is.
When you know it's not real, that's a fucked up.
No, it's more or less, that could be tripping, right? So more or less, you have to think of it like this: the inability to notice that you are living in.
That's called a reprobate mindset. That's not.
Okay.
That's called a person who gives up on their own.
The inability to realize that their implications or their implicable actions do not really affect other people, and when they try to force those views out,
right
there,
so I used to
like
always be able to do
change
exactly whatever I wanted to do at the time. Like,
well, is it applicable?
Like, okay,
is it applicable to society or not?
Be sorry that I have to exit the situation because it's just what you do.
Is it applicable? Is it applicable to society or not? That's what you gotta ask yourself, really.
Psychosis.
In psychosis, that can help to realize that you're in psychosis.
They tend to attract each other.
It's just being on a different. It's being on a different track when the demographic that you interact with is not really in that track either.
I used to have multiple demographics and was able to I was able to sociopath that, but then.
So you see, you admit it.
No, I think sociopath is a good thing. It just means you can. With me, the reason I would say I think maybe sociopath, it has nothing to do with being evil.
It's not.
I fit in with this group. I fit in, not now, but I fit in with this
good
group.
and bad people
in this group, and I know how to communicate with them.
Yeah.
Speaking Spanish, the Mexicans, I can vibe with them.